So Tuesday. To be honest, not really much has happened in the markets today. There wasn't really much of a setup. I was anticipating a bit more bearish price action, but yeah, it's just been kind of slow, to be honest. Like we look at the charts from yesterday, it's sort of traded down a little bit into this 30-minute imbalance. What was it, 1 hour? Yeah, just sort of traded down into this imbalance, a little move up, and then not much. In terms of the setup that I marked out yesterday, it literally would have hit take profit, but the tiniest margin, like a couple pips, which is nice to see. And then yeah, price has traded down, come back up into this. What we got here? Not really much. Like, do you know what I mean? There's barely any movement. A lot of consolidation today. I'd imagine we could probably see movement down from here. Like just looking at it, it just seems like maybe this on the 4 hour as a higher time frame point of interest. What is that on the hourly? Yeah, possibly. But like even today, I had like a tiny trade marked out. 5 minute fair value gap, retrace to then just literally take the top of the previous candle, and that would have been stopped out. So yeah, nothing from me today. And yeah, that's main thing about this is when the market isn't doing anything, you don't need to do anything. You know what I mean? You don't need to rush trades unless your model forms. You don't need to do anything unless the market shows you that you need to do something. And even then, it's your choice. And yeah, like we got an inverse fair value gap here, but it gets tapped on the 30. And yeah, just nothing really clear. So if you look at daily charts for the week, up a bit more Monday, Tuesday. So, possibly what would we be looking at? Take the previous weekly high, maybe the previous weekly low, but it doesn't necessarily have to do that. I'm still thinking that we will see like a bit more movement above the all-time high, like we very briefly were above it and traded down. And I don't even think we did on the NASDAQ. Yeah, so NASDAQ didn't trade back above. Sorry, S&P didn't trade back above, but the NASDAQ has done. And we've seen breakdown on the 5 minute chart here. Break structure 1, 2, 3. I mean, I suppose, what could we do here? You could look at it like this. And then what? Something like that. 2.16. And in terms of, identifying the range for this, we could take that as the range. Optimal trade entry target down here, 0.5. Standard deviations, and that would kind of align with this imbalance here, which we could see it could see it happen, but it's not something that I'd really want to take a trade on at this point in time. So yeah, not really much else to go on. We've seen a pullback in gold today after all this bullish movement in the last few weeks. We've finally seen a retracement, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we just come back up off of this and just continue upwards. But at the same time, this gold, I don't really trade gold that much, so I don't have as much experience with it. But yeah, we've got an imbalance here, one here. It could do anything. It just depends on the socio-economic conditions at this point, I think. But yeah, not gonna chat any longer. I'm just gonna call it there, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow.